Tonight in What's Next, sometimes the process of coming up with a great idea is just as compelling as the innovation itself. Justin Quisenberry introduces us to a man who took a near tragedy and used it to create a bike that makes adults feel like kids again. It's What's Next.
The big wheel has grown up for all the adults who never did.
You're about 6 years old that you always wanted to ride again and you never could fit, so here it is. And now we're all lazy, so we got a motor.
August Agner created the big wheel drift trike. That big wheel is 26 inches. And as the name suggests, the trike is built to drift or lose traction.
It's like being a kid. I mean, it's kind of addictive. Even my son, once he started power sliding his little power wheels, it overtakes you and you just kind of like riding a motorcycle in the perfect temperature. I mean, it's the same feeling, it's just a good feeling.
Agner got the spark for the idea in 2012 after a motorcycle crash left him with several broken ribs, dislocated hip, and shattered femur. Bone loss left his leg a ½ inch shorter, and his 2-year recovery included physical therapy.
I mean, God took my accident and turned it from a negative to a positive.
Because it led to his drift trike invention.
During recovery, my wife bought me a pedal big wheel, and when she did, me and my son would ride down the hill and we'd have 20 seconds of fun compared to it felt like 30 minutes of walking back up the hill pushing mine and his. So I decided then, I was like, we need to put a motor on one of these things.
Using his background in motors and making motorcycle parts, he was quickly onto something big with his new inspiration leading the way.
That if it wasn't for the accident, I was very active before. I probably would have never cared about a motor, but I'll just pedal this thing.
Business revved up after people started seeing what he made, including through an article in Hot Rod magazine. Now SFD Industries has 4 employees and part-time workers too, putting hours into each trike to help fill the orders coming in.
Increasing, but every day, I mean, some days will be slow, some days will be crazy. It really just depends.
As many as 40 are shipped out in a given month and go to countries like Australia and Germany.
The funny thing is we've sold 1 in North Carolina and probably 100 in California and all over the U.S. I mean, but our main customer is California.
Still, Agner makes every effort to use North Carolina parts.
I'd like to keep people employed here, and the more, if I spend money with Joe down the street, it supports his family, which the guy down the street, if they support me, it's going to support my family. It's a lot better than supporting someone overseas.
This spring, a robotic welder will help make the manufacturing process even faster, a step toward mass production.
That will take me off where I can have someone just loading the frames into the jig, and they can just slap them together and make sure all the fitments are right, and the jig will pretty much do all your work. Then the robot will come in and weld it all up, and it will also be coordinated motion where the jig table will turn as the robot welds.
Allowing Agner to do more big wheeling and dealing. In Winston-Salem, Justin Quisenberry, WNCN News.
Looks like a blast, really. Agner's big wheel drift trikes start at $2,400. Orders take about 3 months to fill. And for other examples of great ideas and innovators in our area, go on over to WNCN.com and click on the What's Next tab.